Part of me feels underdressed. Today was, yesterday was okay. Very happy. I got like new underwear, new like 4 shirts and 2 shorts for them. I was like, this is perfect for me. Big white break commercial. Like I think Buffalo.
Got the biggest buck of my life. It's 187-pound acorn that day. I couldn't find a deer in Santa's Village, and I show up with a coffee and I shoot the biggest deer of my life. It's the truth, though. Oh, but his boys were impressed. when I sat in the Indian shooting shack and shot his deer while they were freezing their butts up on their stands, the boys were impressed. I think Steve shot. All the radios are going off. He goes, do you warn someone? Yep. 6 hours later, I had 4 glasses of Jameson in me, and I was cooking eggs on the wood stove. Baking eggs and Jameson at 1 o'clock. Pound of bacon, and then I deep fried the eggs and left them out. Yep. That's all right. I took care of it. Paul says, I found it. He said, how big is it? He said, biggest deal you'll ever shoot.
But you know what? That was noted.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We will now begin our ceremony.
Please stand if you are able for the presentation of the flag, followed by the singing of the national anthem by Officer Marcus Lever of the Southern State Correctional Facility.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present to you the Vermont Department of Corrections Honor Guard. Please take your seats.
Group, take seat.
Good morning. My name is Nick Fortier, Deputy Director of the Office of Professional Standards and Compliance, and I'd like to welcome you to the 179th Vermont Correctional Academy graduation. I want to thank you all for coming and showing your support to today's graduates. I'd first like to introduce the panel seated on the stage at this time. Commissioner of Corrections, Nick Demmel, Director of Facility Operations, Travis Denton, the Deputy Director of OPSC, Tanya Barber. Today culminates 6 weeks of training for these 22 new corrections professionals. Throughout their last 6 weeks, they have been challenged academically, physically, and intellectually. The Vermont Correctional Academy is an intensive 6-week course which tests individuals through a mixture of classroom instruction, practical exercise, and intensive social interaction. Today, these new officers stand ready to not only join the ranks of the Vermont Department of Corrections family, but also serve the citizens of Vermont. Today could not have been possible without the selfless service of the superintendents, managers, and staff who made today possible. Through their efforts, these new officers are prepared to begin their new careers with the Department of Corrections. I'd like to thank the trainers, administrators, and all of their support staff that dedicated their time to making today a reality. There have been many achievements in the past 6 weeks for these new officers. While these achievements are defined in their various ways, we would like to recognize some of those achievements by presenting awards. The first award is the Outstanding Leadership Award. The recipient of the Outstanding Leadership Award is nominated by their peers for displaying outstanding leadership and professionalism during the Academy. The recipient of the 179th Outstanding Leadership Award is Marcus Larrabee of the Southern State Correctional Facility. The next award is the Class Valedictorian Award. The Class Valedictorian Award is awarded to the graduate who had the highest GPA over the 6 weeks of training. With a GPA of 99.5, the 179th Class Valedictorian is Noah Burke of the Northern State Correctional Facility. The final award is the Class Speaker Award. Class Speaker is chosen by their peers, has been chosen to speak for their class. The 179th Class Speaker is Paulo DeRosa of the Northeast Correctional Complex.
Good day, everyone. Before I introduce myself, it's my pleasure to welcome the friends and families that are here today in the celebration of the 179th Vermont Correctional Academy graduation. My name is Paulo DeRosa. On July 29th, my fellow graduates and I arrived at the Academy not knowing one another and soon grew to be a family over the 6 weeks we trained together. The Academy was challenging for many of us. Including myself, I thought the best way to get through this journey was to keep my head down and fly under the radar. I was wrong. Being a part of the 179th Corrections Academy meant there was no such thing as being alone. We learned from each other, supported each other, and always helped each other when we needed to. In the beginning, we talked about our values as a class, some of which included commitment, family, loyalty, honor, and courage. Those are great values to hold, but our class concluded that the most important to us is honesty, integrity, and respect. In the hopes of staying true to these values, I can honestly say I didn't think I was going to make it. But my mother always told me to work hard, don't quit, and never settle from where you stand. There's always more to be accomplished. I'm standing here today because I took those words to heart. Thank you, Mom. I chose this career path because I wanted to do something that could benefit people. Sure, the incarcerated individuals I will soon be supervising did something to land them there, but in all reality, most of us are just one mistake away from sharing a cell with them. It's important we set an example for the population to strive towards. It is our hope that one day those in our custody will be back in our communities as productive members of society. Some of the skills that stuck out to me during training were advanced communications. These skills help us learn how to listen, give clarity, and how to define behaviors in a universal language. We also became certified in first aid, CPR, and AED. I believe the class favorite was non-lethal use of force, not only because we learned how to defend ourselves and others from harm, but we also got contaminated with OC. Speaking for myself, OC is probably one of the worst experiences I've had. But these skills, among others, will help us in our duties as Vermont correctional officers. My goal with the Department of Corrections is to become a caseworker. It's one of the most impactful roles when it comes to helping the incarcerated population. I know this is a big goal to shoot for, but I want to be someone they can trust and help with housing, securing jobs, and giving them resources from when they return to the community. Some of my fellow classmates are striving to become probation and parole officers. Others are looking to be supervisors. A couple are even talking about wanting to become instructors at the academy. Some of the preparation we'll receive for those positions start after today. We'll have on-the-job training, run living units, attend annual trainings, and pick up additional trainings to help us become leaders in the workforce. For those us who, to take a step further, we also have the incredible benefit of free college courses. I'll start to wrap up my speech by saying that the Academy was an amazing experience, and I'm glad I got to be a part of it. I'm thankful I got to meet such incredible people. I have learned a lot of different skills throughout these 6 weeks that will not only help be in the facility, but also in my personal life. How I viewed life when I first started, to progressing over the 6 weeks of training, and now graduating today, has changed me for the better. It has made me stronger than I was when I first walked into the Academy on day one. I wish you all the best start to your careers. We started off as strangers, but now I consider every single one of you family. I sincerely would like to thank all the instructors for helping us throughout the Academy, supporting us, motivating us, and for that, we are grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Paulo. At this time, I'd like to introduce the Commissioner of Corrections, Nick Demmel.
Morning. Did y'all hear the national anthem? My God. All right. That was a great way to start. Appreciate that. Excited to have somebody from the class participate in that way today. So thank you for that. My name is Nick Demmel. I'm the Commissioner of Corrections for the state of Vermont. Excited to see you all here. Excited to get to participate with you today. It's a great honor to join the 179th Academy class, and we're so excited to have you in our ranks and count you among our team. Today's an important day. It culminates 6 weeks of training, professional development, collaboration. A lot of friendships get made in these 6 weeks. Friendships that I think often will last an entire career, sometimes last a lifetime. Each of the graduates that we celebrate today will have gained a myriad of skills that will help them throughout their career. And certainly they have now the basics to go out and become correctional officers, probation parole officers, community corrections officers, and serve our state in a variety of different ways. And on Monday, each of you begins a career of service and sacrifice. Many of you, like me, may be entering the department without any experience in the correctional field. Maybe you come from law enforcement or a human services background, a medical background. We often attract a good variety of folks from around the state and outside. And like you, I think coming in without a corrections background can be valuable, give us new perspective and insights into how we can do this work differently. Prior to joining the Department of Corrections, I spent most of my career as an officer with the Central Intelligence Agency. Served in the Directorate of Operations, doing clandestine intelligence operations around the world, served on the director's staff. I served in Afghanistan and on a few other continents. And now I'm entering my soon-to-be 4th year as Commissioner of Corrections in the state of Vermont. I want to reflect for a moment, though, about my time in Afghanistan, because I think it's relevant here today. While I was in Afghanistan, it's a place a little different than Vermont. In culture, the landscape's kind of similar, but in most other aspects, it's different than what you find here. And yet, I often find that I'm drawing parallels between my time there and my time here, my time working in the corrections space. When I was in Afghanistan, it was described as the 18 one-year wars. Basically, we'd fought the same war over and over again 1 year at a time, 20 times by the end. And we knew for a long time that we weren't truly achieving the U.S. foreign policy aims in Afghanistan, but we couldn't make those adjustments that were necessary to be successful. The most common criticisms that I hear of the war are that we failed to appreciate the complexity of our end goals, that we failed to clearly articulate what they were, we failed to create a strategy to go out and achieve those goals. Some could say the same about corrections. Today, in fact, many do say the same about corrections, that we're failing to achieve the shared national goals of lowering recidivism, of helping people rehabilitate and move back to our communities in a positive way. Now, perhaps more than ever, corrections agencies across the country are facing increased public scrutiny. We have dire staffing shortages. We have outdated processes and practices. But here in Vermont, we're committed to doing things a little differently. In fact, for those that are joining us today, you're joining our department at an opportune time to meet this moment and to be the architects of the correction system of the future, to not just meet the needs of the populations that we serve today and the needs of our communities today, but design something different for the future. You bring fresh perspective on this work, and that's something that we are interested in harnessing as we look to modernize our practices and our policies. As a department, we're committed to ensuring that there is equity in our decision-making and that we dismantle the systemic barriers to fair and impartial decision-making. And as a department, we are poised to lead the nation in the practice of corrections, something that Vermont has long held dear. It's not to say that we're going to achieve this mission with ease or that it will come quickly. Right now, as many of you know, our communities are facing unprecedented challenges, and they don't have the resources to support those who are struggling. We have folks who are suffering from complex medical and mental health challenges, substance use disorders, and without the resources, corrections is often called upon to fill these gaps in services when we receive individuals in our facilities or supervise them in our communities. And the trends that we see in the community are mirrored and magnified in our correctional facilities. Individuals are presenting to us sicker than they ever have in history. They're experiencing complex mental health challenges, medical ailments, co-occurring health disorders. But our system is resilient, and like many hospitals, emergency services providers, law enforcement agencies, we don't have the option to close our doors or turn away people remanded to our custody. In the face of these unprecedented challenges, corrections professionals always rise to the challenge, time and time again. It's the one constant in this work, that the correctional officer is always there to answer the call. And during my time as commissioner, and certainly in every role that I've held before, I know that we only rise to the occasion when we rise together. So it's heartening to me to see such a strong team present before us today and join our ranks. I would encourage you to be there for yourselves, be there for each other, and as a department, our promise back is that we will be there to support you along the way. Whether you stay with us for 1 year, or 10 years, or 30 years, and make a career of this work, I commit to you that our department will provide you with rewarding opportunities, that will invest in your professional development, that will commit to constantly improving ourselves so that our staff have a better experience every day at work. I commit to you that we'll recognize you as human beings with human needs, and we'll work to support your whole life, not just the time you're with us behind the walls. And we'll provide pay and benefits, personal wellness, and career-building support that meets your needs. Together as one team with one mission and a shared set of guiding principles, we can create safety and equity by seeing potential, supporting change, and serving our communities. So let me close with this to the family and friends who are gathered with us, and to those who couldn't be with us today. You should be proud of what these graduates have accomplished over the last 6 weeks. These men and women sitting here are the public servants in the truest sense of the phrase. And they'll need your love and your care and your support now more than ever. I know what it means to serve in hard situations, and there are some hard situations lying ahead for these folks. There are tough moments, and in those moments, the toughest moments, you turn to family and friends first for support. So please support them and love them as you have to this point, because they will need you now more than ever. But this department will be here to support you as well, every step of the way. Thank you, graduates, for stepping up and answering the call to service. Thank you to the family and friends for your support. You are all about to embark on an amazing journey, and today is just the beginning. So let me formally welcome you to the Vermont Department of Corrections. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. We will now begin our certificate presentation, which will be followed by the professional oath administered by Director Dunton. Any friends or family that would like to come up and take pictures of graduates, feel free to come forward and take pictures of the graduates as they receive their certificate.
Group 1, attention. Right face.
Luis Barrera. Isaiah Bates. Alden Berry. Shelley Brumlow. Noah Burke. Madison Collette.
Right face.
Paulo DeRosa. Bai Doff. Raymond Edwards. Janet Goodwin. Abdinor Hassan. Marcus Larrabee. James Merle. Christian Perry. Johanna Parker. Jacqueline Riley. Christian Schoenig. Dwayne Schuler. Crystal Starks. Zachary Trombley. Christopher Ulrich. Stephen Watson.
Attention!
Acknowledge this oath and the badge of my profession.
Acknowledge this oath and the badge of my profession.
As symbols of the public trust in my ability and commitment.
As symbols of the public trust in my ability and commitment.
To provide for the public safety as a professional correctional officer.
To provide for the public safety as a professional correctional officer.
I agree to maintain the highest ethical standards.
I agree to maintain the highest ethical standards.
And serve the Vermont Department of Corrections to the best of my ability.
And serve the Vermont Department of Corrections to the best of my ability.
I freely accept this responsibility.
I freely accept this responsibility.
And swear to uphold the humanitarian and legal principles.
And swear to uphold the humanitarian and legal principles
Of the corrections profession throughout my career.
of the corrections profession throughout my career.
This now concludes our ceremony. You're invited to stay for refreshments following the conclusion of the ceremony. Also take the opportunity to go see our family support table and learn more about our great family support team. Congratulations to the 179th. Ladies and gentlemen, if you please stand if you're able, we will begin our class recessional.
Detail, fall. Right face. Ready, step. Carry, colors. Ready, step. Left, face. Forward, march. Forward. March.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 179th Vermont Correctional Academy. They will all be coming back in to take a class photo and then individual photos. So if you want to take photos of your recruits, feel free to stay here and they'll come right back in and take photos. Thank you.
Nice job, Nick.
Thank you.
Good, how are you? That's good. So you guys, right?
I think this was, what is this, Janelle, helping me. We had these on, like gloves and